Okay, so I'm recording this on the same night as we've just played the other ones. It's a little bit later. The reason that I'm going to do this is because we've got this game on the 13th of October, which is today, and we've got 2 weeks off until the 27th. Now, the gap between these weeks is taking so long that I will roll it to the next game, so that I've just not got that much to stay. So I'll roll it to the next game. I'll play the game. We'll do a little bit of chat about what goes on between these two games, and then at the Boston game, maybe the Scarborough game as well. We might play these two games. We might play up to Southport. We'll have to see. However, we're going to play this game first. I've got Kid in instead of Wahad El Sundi. I think I might change it back actually. I'm not sure at the moment who's the better player. And then it's the same problem with Squire and Johnson. I'm going to start with Johnson just because I like the extra creativity. Although he's not getting as many assists. So we'll go with this. We'll go with this. Now, again, I've said I don't like Northwich Victoria. This is one of the reasons why. This is a disgusting formation. Against my formation, it's absolutely anything that's centralising is really bad to play against. So 3 attackers. Defensive midfielders sort of kill the game. You can absolutely just stop the game from even running properly with defensive midfielders. They are overpowered in the extreme. And then, obviously, their goalkeeper likes a man of the match performance against me. He really likes man of the match performance against me. So, we're already in a situation where we probably should be further ahead than we are. So, I don't know which is the best thing for you lot to watch it on. I don't know if you prefer it on, which of these you prefer it on. So, like I said before, like off the ball is really desirable in strikers, but we'll talk about that soon. Don't really need the decisions. Creativity can work. The reason David Collins is so good is because of his creativity. So look, even though we won the match, even though they had no shots on target, Paul Gibson is man of the match. And when you look at this, this is not what you would call a good goalkeeper, is it? Like, just look. But yeah, just as well against me. Again, none of these players I'm talking about in real life. In real life, these players are so much better than anything that I could do. So I'm just saying on the game, they're not ideal. So we've got 2 weeks now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the players on the searches, because these searches are almost all finished, and I'm going to explain why I have this idea. So this guy here is Australian. That means I know that when I finish looking at this, I go into whatever the next nation is from Australia. So look here, no one that I want to buy. Oh, it's Cummins maybe, nope. And then I go to Australia, nope. Next one, Belgium, done. Okay, and then I go here. I don't know where the scout's been. Oh, the scout's been Finland. I'll sign this guy. He's quite a lot better than what I've got. So, but I'll only sign him for a year. I don't need him for much longer than a year. The reason is because of the defensive attributes that we spoke about, I believe, in like episode 1, episode 2. There's no one here that's worth buying as well. And this was Finland, so right, okay. Finland's done, we go to France. Next one. So we look at positioning. We've got this left back, and this guy's from Japan, so that means that I know that I'm in Japan at the moment. Very tempted by this guy. Put him onto my short list. This guy, I've got him to tell me about him. So, yeah, Japan, go to Northern Ireland. Defensive positioning, attacking. So Dimitri's quite good, although we don't need him. This is Russia. It must be Russia. So we go to Scotland next. Turkey, we're not finished there. Asia, we're not finished there. And then this is North America. Looking at the players. We go right. North America's finished. This guy's very good. He's got positioning, tackling, jumping, aggression. Bravery's okay. Marking's okay. Strength is okay. So this guy is absolutely going to be signed. He's better than what we've got. So we will buy him. Oh, I thought North America had finished. It's not finished. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sign myself some physios. And the reason I sign myself some physios, and I didn't do it straight away, and I don't know why not, is because when you've got uncapped 20s, which is what I play with, you can find the necromancers, those that can cure death. They can heal the wounds of the dead, and all you do is get these guys in, and then that basically means that for the rest of the game you don't really have to worry about your players getting injured. They'll only ever get short-term injuries, no long-term injuries. So what I think I will do in this period of time is I will speak a little bit about what CA 15 attributes are, how they work, what intrinsic means, because I think a lot of people don't know, and what things that the game really likes and what things the game doesn't really like. Like I said, things that aren't implemented correctly in the game, as far as I can tell. Like I might have some person come and tell me that they are, but as far as I'm aware, that they're not actually implemented correctly. So the first one is that a lot of people say determination is like the most important thing in the game, and it just isn't. There's a few people done the play testing of it where they changed the determination of a team from 20 to 1, and they found virtually no difference. I believe it was Arsenal they play tested with. So determination's not really important. It will help players improve, but the problem is in this game that players don't improve to be good. They are born good, and what I mean by that is that if a player, so I will show you in a second. I will show you in a second about this. So what I essentially mean is that the attribute distribution as decided when the player is created, either regenerated or made, is basically sort of set, and they don't really go up or down. So I'm going to show you on the training. So you've got these 3 different training: tactics, shooting, skills. Now I believe skills training changes. Let me get a player. So don't want you. Skills changes. I believe it doesn't do creativity. It does crossing. It does dribbling. It doesn't do finishing. It doesn't do flair. It doesn't do long shots. It doesn't do marking. It doesn't do off the ball. It does passing. It does tackling. And it does something else. Now the problem is that you can't make any of those things go up. They randomly go up. So let's say I want this player to have much better off the ball. I want his off the ball to go up to 14. So I put him on, the training for that one is the tactics one. So I put him on tactics training, but I can't make specifically his off the ball go up. When he's on tactics training, off the ball might go down and positioning might go up. And that's going to make him a worse player, because every time that off the ball drops down 1, he'll drop like 8 marks in it. But realistically, off the ball is never going to end up as 2. So they're always going to be this like distribution. So what that means is that you can't really train players into what you want them to be. That it's just fate. You can move them up 1 or 2, but generally there's not that much that you can do with them. The only exception to this is the non-CA 15 attributes. So the non-CA 15 attributes are the mental and the physical attributes. Now, there are some very cheesy things you can do with the mental attributes to improve them, but the physical attributes is a more important one, or more impressive one, or a more pressing one. So that's acceleration, balance, technique, pace, jumping. There's some more as well. I think that's it. Acceleration, pace, jumping, technique, balance. So they're the ones that are done by fitness. Now they've got no cap. You can continue improving them if you want to. They will keep going up until such a time that like you get to whatever the soft limit is or the hard limit. So what that means is that all your training, if you want to make players better, should in theory just be fitness based training. that'd be the easiest way to get them. I'm just looking for my physio to sack him. So my other physio is an okay physio. He's got a physiotherapy of 26. However, he is not a necromancer, so that's an issue. So basically, in this game, most training is a waste of time. Like I said, it doesn't really affect the players. Players are either born good or born bad. So the second thing that I said about was that the CA 15 attributes work differently. So 20s are not the same, and 10s are not the same, and 1s are not the same. So what this basically means is you can have a player who's got 15 finishing, whose finishing is better than Van Nistelrooy's 20 finishing. And the reason is because on the CA 15 attributes, the numbers don't go between 1 and 20, they go between negative 129. No, they don't go negative. they go from 129 all the way around to 128. So they go 129 up to 256 or 0, and that's like the middle of them. And then they go from 0 to 128. So someone like Ruud van Nistelrooy, who is like the best player on the game, really, I believe his current ability is like 197, his potential ability is 199, something like that. His finishing is bang average, it's 0. Now I'm going to name some players that you will know because you play the game a lot. Maxim obviously has got, I believe, like 107 finishing, so his 20 equates to 107. David Collins, his 20 equates to something like 86. And basically, the way it works is you want the players to have their CA 15 attributes that you want as high as possible, and all the other CA 15 attributes as low as possible. So, for example, Ruud van Nistelrooy's tackling is, let me find him. So his tackling here, look, marking 11, tackling 15, positioning 10. What this basically means is because the gap between these two isn't so great, he doesn't really get the benefit of the 17 off the ball. Whereas when you look at now, I don't even know how to spell his name. So I don't even know where he starts. This is how often I sign him. Is this where he starts? Okay, I'm not gonna be able to find him, but I'll find David Collins instead, because obviously I know where David Collins is. So I don't really buy these players that are like the superstars, but David Collins is one that everyone knows. Is that obviously you have to be able to spell to find him. So Charlton picked him up. Oh my god. This is disaster. So David Collins, right? So this is what I'm saying about the reason he's so good is because this 22 equates to like something like 80 or 90, because all these other ones are really, really low. And even the off the ball, which is 13, is still above 0. So he's better than average. I believe like his off the ball is 20 or 18. So he's better on off the ball and finishing than Ruud van Nistelrooy because of this. And I don't know why they did it. I don't understand why. They can explain to you why. But for me, it makes the game a lot more interesting. Like, that's why this game's got its replayability, that these gems that people don't really know why they work. There's a really, really good thread on the forums called Siligo, how you say his name, versus I'll just call him Maxim from now on. Maxim versus Van Nistelrooy, where they speak about this specifically. And there's something called the Graham Kelly editor where you can check the scores. And there's also, I believe, on the Nick's Patcher, he's put a scout that ranks them by their intrinsic values. So when I reference that a player's got really good intrinsic values or underlying values, what that basically means is that their values are different to what you see on the screen. And like I said, it's all to do with the ratio, and the highest one, so the current ability and potential ability determine how high it can go, and the lower that their potential and current is, the higher the highest high can go. Now, I'm not sure how that works in Maxim's case, because Maxim's like 100, 120, and the highs are really high. But generally, if you want the freak players like Jackson, like Barnett, like Collins, if you've got the update like Guy Last, Josh Blake, Huckabee, Barnes, all of these players, then they need to be low current ability, low potential ability for that to be very, very good. And this is like part of the beauty of the game, that if in this game you just bought the best players and you won everything, I don't think the game would be as interesting. Like, I don't think as many people would spend as long playing it. I think that what makes it interesting is the freaks. And I lovingly call them freaks. I don't call them freaks as like a to denigrate them. I think that it's a wonderful name for them. So I've got this new centre back, and I've got Peter Henning as well. Peter Henning and this guy. So we should have, in theory, 3 defenders that can tackle, which is a nice change. And Colby can go to relegate to reserves. So I'm getting close to having a team that should, in theory, be able to compete. So Boston are another team that are horrible to play. There's so many teams in this division that are horrible to play, because obviously this is where the freaks live. So, because this is where the low players live. Darryl Clare is a bit freaky, although he's quite good, so he wouldn't fit into my freak. Obviously, Jez Murphy is an obscene player. He's another freak. Long shots is probably his problem. If long shots for him was like 4, he would be an incredible player, because he's got all the physicals, and then his off the ball passing and finishing would be his main stats, his main attributes. So off the ball, long shots, although obviously you can see that it's not really hurting him too much. So this is the thing that you'll notice when you start getting better defenders, in theory, is that the opponents will start having fewer shots against you. In theory, they will still have shots, they will still score goals. However, the positioning means that they have less shots, fewer shots, of less quality. So as you can see, this is Boston, a very good team. They've only had 3 shots, 1 on target. Now it's going to be 2, isn't it? Because obviously I've spoken. 4 shots, 1 on target. So if you're dominating this screen here, the shots on target screen, you're going to do well in the game. I know superkeepers exist. I'm aware. I'm aware how frustrating it is when you get a goalkeeper making 422 saves against you. But that's the screen you have to dominate. I've never played a full season where I've dominated that screen and not won the championship in each of them. Like I said, the biggest problem in this is the fact that currently Scarborough are doing really well. That won't continue. Generally, the team that wins this division isn't. They generally don't lose no games. I can't remember what the lowest points I've ever won the division with is. I've already lost more games than I usually lose in a season. But like I say, I normally start on the German time, so I get an extra 3 weeks, I think, to put my squad together. Whereas on this one, obviously, I thought that I'd just do it with 2 weeks. And also that, although I usually do scouted only, I do allow myself to do part exchanges, and you can get a lot of extremely good players in very quickly in part exchanges. So I think I'll do one more game on this, and then I will save it and upload, and that'll be the last one that I do for today. I don't know when my next match is. So yeah, 7th of November. I mean, that is quite a way off. I'll see how many minutes we've had. I don't know why I've got so few games at the moment. I think it must be something to do with the fact that I'm not in so when he comes, my necromancers will obviously cure him. Edit managers no. Or 1 month. Confirm. So I don't know why I've not played many games that month. I don't really understand it. I'm assuming it's because I'm not in the vans, or there must be something mad about it. I'm absolutely certain I'm always in the vans, but maybe I've edited something, changed something. I have no idea. Don't know who that Hughes is. That Leslie Hughes. Leslie Hughes must have just played. Stalybridge play more games this month. Well, no idea. Maybe it's a bug. I will just put it down to a bug. Maybe it's because I've got that French league in, or the Swedish league, or whichever one breaks the game. Then I'm going to have to stop it in 3 weeks' time. And that'll send me. Okay, so I do think we will get to the next game. We'll play the next game, and then that's where we will end for today. And like I said, once I start getting more players in where I can really explain why they're good and why they're bad, I will do that. But at this moment in time, obviously, there's no one in my team that I can really do that with. But you'll know when you found a very good player. Hopefully we'll get more games and they'll come thick and fast later on. Or maybe I'll redo the challenge where I've got fewer leagues on, so it runs much quicker. They are delighted about me. So we've had a game change. He's quite good. He's got dribbling. Balance is not that great, I guess. Right. So as I was saying, I might start just editing these down where I skip through the interim times and just go from game to game to game, just because I am aware that it is a bit boring just sitting there looking at a screen with me talking nonsense over it. Or the other option is for me to double speed and dub. That might be a better way to do it. So you see everything that I do, but I dub backwards over the top of it, and then I can speed through it and slow it down where it needs slowing down. But I'll have a think about that. If you let me know if you want videos longer, shorter, less chat, more chat, please let me know. I am here to please. Right, I'm playing top of the league, which is not ideal. My team seems to have most of the players in the right places. Yeah, okay, we'll kick off. Again, these are a very good team. They've got a lot of very good players. Obviously, we're going to lose this game because seriously. Oops. Okay, so Plucket can come off, Captivia can go on, Spillall can come off, Lovewing can go on. Yep, okay, that'll do me. So generally, I don't know why this is, but it does happen. It might happen in real life as well. Generally, when you beat a team that have not lost a game, they seem to go on like a bit of a bad run. So yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. Darlington, obviously, like I said, is going to score a lot of goals. Nice having a guy that's got decent tackling in the middle of the pitch, because obviously he wins a few tackles. Although this is the funny thing, look, 18 tackling, won 2 of 4. 12 tackling, won 3 of 3. 11 tackling, won 4 of 4. 11 tackling, won 4 of 5. And then Mick Morton, who literally can't tackle, got tackling of 8. Yeah, he's won 4 of his 6 tackles, so it makes absolutely no sense. Right, that's me done for the evening. I will save and I will see you on the other side.